Intermission, searching 3,000 meters for a sword. Author. Speaking of which, he was recently forgotten, but I think I'll talk a little bit about Lior. Actually, that guy does not live in that house. The story goes back to about 1 month ago before we left our home. I didn't bring Royce and went to meet Lior alone. You've arrived, Lior? AAA, yes, serious. During my last visit, we had decided that the next time we met, we would fight without holding anything back. As proof, Lior is wearing armor and his favorite sword proudly, while I'm using the sword that I got from D and the mithril knife as a throwing knife. This probably will be the last time. I beg you, don't die before me, okay? Lior. Same goes for you, don't die on me, okay? Serious? I didn't have anything else to say. We moved our location and went at each other with the intent to kill. I switched to my battle stance, swinging down my sword seriously, and Lior swung his sword with all his killing intent. Indeed, it was a battle to the death. I was too absorbed in the battle and I don't remember much about it. If I only had to talk about the result, many craters appeared in the forest. Lior was half dead on his feet and I was so exhausted that I couldn't go back home, so I stayed the night in Lior's house. Honestly, it wouldn't have been weird for Lior to have died after all that, but because of his crazy survival instinct and my treatment, he's going to live for a very long time. Ha ha ha. I thought I died this time. Lior. Don't laugh. I'll feel bad if an old man dies by my hand. Serious. I'm sorry. Then, even if I was in my prime, I wouldn't have been able to defeat you, Lior. It's unusual for Lior to be in a state of despair. But, it's an abnormally wonderful feeling that the strength from those years is returning. I could never have done this in my previous life. What is it? Are you finally giving up? Are you going to retire seriously this time? Serious. It's the other way around. Lior. Even though he was close to death several hours ago, Lior clenched his fist and showed a ferocious smile. Hey, if you strain yourself, you'll start to bleed again. I will go on a journey. I'm not going to search for a student, I'm going out to travel and train myself. Lior. Oi, think about your age. Serious. That is unrelated. If I die while on the field, then talk about that. Besides, since you are not going to visit anymore, there's no reason to stay here. Lior. Indeed, when I go to school, it'll be difficult to come here. That's why we thought this would be our last fight, or will it? Is that so? Oh well, it's an old man life, it's unreasonable for me comment on it. Serious. Such a thing, huh? By the way, how many times you are going to do this? Lior. Yes, if everything goes correctly, maybe twice? Serious. Well then, I want to meet your disciples. Emilia particularly. Lior. Why Emilia? This old man, acting like a silly child. Since Royce is indebted to him and his sister wanted to see him, it's a great opportunity for him to finally meet Emilia. Nice to meet you, I am Emilia, Royce's sister. Thank you for taking care of my brother. Emilia. Who? What a cute and polite child. I am the old man called Lior. Sorry for wearing Royce down so much of the time. Lior. No, since he's having so much fun, you don't have to worry about it. Lior-sama is probably having a hard time with him. Emilia. What, it's not a big deal because I'm enjoying myself too. Hey look, there is not much here, but do you drink tea? If you don't mind sweet things, there is fruit too, you know? Lior. AAA, I'll prepare it, Lior-sama. Emilia. You don't have to be so formal, feel free to think of me as a part of your family. Lior. Well, Oji-chan? Emilia. Oji-chan. Oh, ooh, what a wonderful feeling I have in my chest. Lior. Are you alright, Oji-chan? Emilia. Ooh. Calm down, this old man is invincible, you know. Lior. There are of course more events, and Lior likes Amelia like a grandchild. Although Royce looks similar, I heard that Lior treats him the same. Those youngsters are your disciples, and I'm like their special tutor. It's cute here and there, but it can't be compared to Amelia. Lior, Ed. Talking about his sword, huh? That kind of thing. The old man isn't married, but it doesn't mean that a disciple should be treated like a child. When I think about this, I don't treat Royce and Amelia as grandchildren. Tell the sword in front of you that your grandchildren are cute. What an easy to understand old man. We also came here, but why is Amelia a priority? Royce? Because I wanted to meet her, of course. Anyway, I've showed Royce my secret moves, well, incidentally. Lior. No, do the opposite at least. Royce will cry, you know. Not having been affected with that fact, Royce wants to see Lior's secret moves. That was our last meeting with Lior, as we would leave the house in a few days. Travel outfits were arranged already for the travel, the inside of the house looked neatly. I finish greeting and go out at the same time. First of all, thank you. I am really grateful that you have become my new rival. Thank you, Lior. I've said this many times, don't worry about it. After all, I'm grateful for becoming your rival, and I have become strong thanks to you. Serious. After finish with the parting by holding hands tightly, Lior took out small pouches from the luggage and gave it to me. This is the proof of mastering all the skills of the past, and I thought I'd hand that to my disciple. If you think that boy is good enough, I want you to hand it to him. Lior. A pouch contains a medallion with a sword mark and one letter. Your destination is Elysian? A stubborn short old man that lives there made my favorite sword. This is a letter of introduction that asks him to make a sword for Royce. From what Lior says, a person called the stubborn old man, huh? Who on earth is this hard-to-please person, I wonder? Although having full mastery of secret arts and having Royce's sword made are good things, but there is one other important thing for Royce. Royce's ability is already exceeding Amelia's. At least, in relation to swords only, nevertheless I would like them to taste superiority. Of course I'm requesting one more for Amelia. I wrote that he should produce things that Royce doesn't have. Lior. Even if Royce tries hard, he still couldn't win against his sister. Well then. When next time we meet, I will definitely win against you. Lior. Lior, with a big smile on his face, begins his travels before becoming 60 again. At that time, we passed the exam at schools and it was 2 days before entering student dormitory. We were looking for the stubborn old man introduced by Lior and were walking around the town of Elysian. That being said, it's because we only know name of the store. I wonder where on earth that old man is. Amelia. According to Ji Chan's talk, he is an irritating shorty that likes to nag people. Royce. More insults incoming? I think the name of the shop is Destruction Annihilation Indestructible Blacksmith, isn't? Amelia. Is that really the shop's name? No naming sense at all, don't you think? Royce. That part is easy to understand, you know. Serious Sama, how about asking the person at the stall? A stall will most likely has an apprentice working there and we can find information easily. Amelia. Amelia seems to understand the importance and methods of information gathering. While we admire her, she obtains the necessary information, so she comes back with grilled skewers in her hands. Understood. I heard that the shop is at the end of that curved alleyway. Amelia. It's unexpectedly close. Let's go there immediately. Serious. We advanced towards the end of the alleyway for few minutes. Since there was clearly a signboard with Destruction Annihilation Indestructible Blacksmith on it, we entered the shop. We confirmed that this was the place from outer appearance, and when I look inside, the signboard is fading and dust is collecting on the shelf, pots, and other places. It looks unattended, but since the sound of a hammer striking metal can be heard, so there seems to be a person here. Is anyone here? Excuse me, Royce. There is no reaction from Royce's shout. The hammering is still not stopping. Oi, excuse me. I have come as a visitor. Royce. Still no reaction. Has he become deaf after listening to too much hammering? Come out quickly. Useless drunken man with no naming sense. Royce. What did you say, idiot? Opening parenthesis question mark. What did you say, idiot? Opening parenthesis question mark. What did... Such insult can be heard. Such insult can be heard. Rather, how do you know such insult? Ji Chan said if I say this, I will get a reaction. Royce. I wonder what kind of relation Lior has with this man. While the man is coming out with an angry expression, I can see his height and mine are no different. His is from the dwarf race, having a tough short body with long hair and a flowing beard. As for wanting an excellent weapon, the more dwarves who love sake and exploring, the more dwarves get to know about ores and smithing. Finally, you have come out. Nice to meet you. I am serious. Serious. What, I don't care about kids or nobles. Anyhow, since you were making fun of me, go home, idiot. Dwarf. We come here not to tease you, but we came here on Lior's introduction? Serious. Quadruple A? Dwarf. The dwarf was about to get back into the store, but he reacted when heard about Lior and he turned his eyes to us. This is the letter of introduction. You will understand us if you read it. Serious. If you are lying, I'll beat you to death with my hammer, you idiot. Dwarf. I wonder if this person's favorite word is idiot? He snatched the presented letter and began to read while having the eyes of an enemy's parent. The dwarf crumpled up the letter and threw it away, and at the same time he presented a sword to Royce. Hold this and swing it. This is one of my best swords. Understood. Ooh. As expected, it's not different to my own sword. Royce. It's okay to swing the sword since there is space, but somehow, please remain cautious when swinging in this room. Serious Sama, don't you think this knife is amazing? Emilia. While Royce swings the sword happily at another place, Emilia is excitedly holding and trying out a decorated knife. Oni-chan, do you understand how good is that? Royce. Yes. It seems very sharp and there's no resistance from meat and it is liable to slice right through it. Emilia. Is that so? I may sell this to the guy who understands it. What's your budget, dwarf? Emilia looks to me, but please do not be hesitant, and so I nodded. I don't have much on hand, I have only about 5 silver coins. Emilia. 5? So unsparing. Dwarf. I think if it's this knife, even 1 gold coin is not enough. I have given 1 gold coin each to the siblings as their pocket money, so it's quite a scene to see how long Emilia will haggle. I am serving Serious Sama, but I'm a little bit unreliable in case of an emergency. Would you please look at this? Emilia. What? Certainly, what a cruel idiot. Dwarf. What was shown is the knife that Emilia always uses. Because it's an inexpensive knife which was sold everywhere, what a professional way to do it, but I won't say anything. I'd like to be more useful to my master. And I want a wonderful knife. But it's hard as a servant to use the master's money. Emilia. I understand Oju-chan's, young lady, opinion, but after all this is a place for business. Dwarf. Please, Oji-chan. Emilia. Oji-chan. Wah, what kind of wonderful feeling is in my chest? Dwarf. Triple A, the same reaction with Lior. It's because I call Lior Sama Oji-chan, if there is his acquaintance, I wonder if I can treat you as an Oji-chan? Emilia. Emilia is a tactician, isn't she? You're using the sweetness art, or trick, learned on Lior, with the appeal of your puppy dog eyes. Ooh, there's no problem. Call me whatever you want. That one, knife, will be free of charge, idiot. Dwarf. No, free of charge would be a problem indeed, so are 5 silver coins okay? Amelia. It can't be helped, if Oju-chan, young lady, says so, that's fine. Dwarf. Thank you, Oji-chan. Amelia. Idiot. Take it for free, Royce. What an interesting old man. But old man, that knife is used for cooking, isn't? If the shown knife will be used only for cooking, and when this truth is known, no, with Oji-chan's word, everything will be permitted. And, since he resembles Lior, both of them might end being similarly hated. While Amelia is pushing the Oji-san, who insists that it was free of charge, to accept 5 silver coins, I called Royce, who is through from swinging the swords. Oi, OC-chan, old man. I'm done trying. Royce. AAA? Idiot, which's numbers came up? Dwarf. The 5th and the 6th? It feels easier using either. Royce. It seems as to be an idiot, you have an unusual habit. Dwarf. I'm not an idiot. My name is Royce. Royce. Idiot. After all, you're a disciple of that bastard Lior, seeing as you chose the same weapon. Dwarf. My name is Royce. I am Aniki's disciple, in what way my weapon is the same as his? Royce. Idiot, dwarf. I am Royce. Royce. Ellipsis. The talk is not moving forward because their stubbornness is natural. Since it stagnated, I intervened and brought the negotiations to its conclusion. In short, the purpose of swinging various kinds of weapons are to distinguish the habits of a person? Serious? That is the idea. There should be compatibility between human and the sword. Characteristics like the weight and the destructive power, everything can be determined like this. What an idiot. Dwarf. Aniki is not an idiot. Royce. Because of that way of speech, be silent. By the way, what sword should Royce have? Serious. It should be heavy and sharp. He has habits similar to that bastard Lior, by looking at his center of gravity during the swings. Serious. Although he is a stubborn and a somehow strange person, but his arms and eyes are reliable. Royce always complains about his sword being light, and Lior's big sword seems to have a good record of performance. It seems that this can be entrusted to him. Then, could you make a sword that matches Royce? If the money is not enough today, I'll pay it at a later date. Serious. I take 5 gold coins from my chest pocket and put in on the table. To be honest, I think this degree of payment is not enough at all, but since I am their companion, it seems better to show strong sincerity. From me as well, please, Amelia. Amelia also took 1 gold coin from her bosom and piled it up. Wait, Amelia-san? It has been steady, but you shouldn't expose that you have a gold coin? Aniki, Nei-chan, Royce. A master with a manly spirit, what idiot. Dwarf. But the person himself didn't notice his manliness. Since both of them are somewhat moved, let's press forward. Lior never said that his sword was wonderful. As soon as this child grows big, I want a sword that suits him until he becomes stronger. Serious. I don't have any intention to make some half-baked sword, dwarf. Is it still impossible? Serious. It's not that. The fact is, as a craftsman, I won't make an incomplete sword. If it's made, I want the sword to be last until this idiot grows big. The matter is, you're going to make it, right? Serious. Absolutely. It's been long time since my true strength was used to make sword for a partner, the sword's owner, user. Dwarf. A hammer is brandished in the shop. I feel anxious when looking at that fully motivated face with its rough excited breathing, but anyway, there's no problem of a sword for Royce. The money can be paid anytime. I don't mind increase in payment, you know. Dwarf. But, there would be probably a matter of living cost? Serious. It's okay since I have savings, but as for you, I think you should be more serious about living expenses. Dwarf. Is that so? If there is something left, please say it. As soon as we get stronger, it will be easy to get materials. Sirius. Wait for that time, OC-chan, old man. Royce. Ah, speaking of that, it was written on the letter. Is this fate? Oi what is your name? Dwarf. I am Sirius. And you are? Sirius. I am Grant, Garanto. That bastard Lior wrote that you're very smart, that's why you're having a consultation. Grant. Since I started speaking with wry look on my face, I listened to Grant's talk. It seems that there is no new ideas recently, and it's said that they want motivation for some new invention. Even if suitable weapon is made but no one can master it, we won't feel good about it. I wonder if there are any interesting ideas? Grant. My weapon is different, so would you like to take a look at it? Sirius. I hand over the abnormally light sword I got from D and the mithril knife that I got from Fia. With the exception of mithril used for this knife, there is nothing else special in particular. But, this sword is strange. The sword made with this ore doesn't seem to be light. Grant. Do you understand what ore was used for this sword? Grant. This sword was made using an ore called graviton, it's originally strong and heavy. Even for a short sword a weight of 30 kilograms wouldn't be unusual, but you can't feel the weight of this particular sword. Sirius. It comes down to a secret, as expected from this sword. Grant. I thought you might say that. Maybe it's due to the pattern on the blade or a carving inside the handle. Sirius. Thank you so much. If I can understand that, that's good enough. Grant. It didn't seem to be a great impetus for Grant, but as for me, I had enough. There seems to be a secret beyond expectation for this sword. It's interesting here and there. Do you have anything else, idiot? Grant. That's right, how about this? Sirius. It's a technology behind a sword that I have spoken of. It's a katana that is not made from a single type of steel. Using softer core steel in the center and harder, skin or sheath steel on the outside to protect the edge. By doing so, softer steel core absorbs impact and prevents breakage, while the strong sheath steel prevents bending and chipping. Unfortunately, I knew just that information and I don't know how to make it myself. However, I talked about various ideas which might turn out to be useful. Idiot, Grant. I wonder if I am hindering his spirit. A hammer is thrown on the floor and the floorboard breaks into pieces. Core steel and sheath steel, an unexpected idea. If it can be implemented, then it will be an outrageous existence. Grant. He's different, now, this guy is overcome by his emotions. But, I'm not sure how to make it, you know. Sirius. Idiot. That's my job. Ooh. I'm burning GGG. Grant. He swung his hammer around with an ecstatic look on his face. Incidentally, this information may solve other problems that Grant had. Well, please don't forget Roy's sword. Sirius. Understood. Since there is no material right now, which sword will you take? Since it takes time until I can get it, wait for a short while, idiot. Grant. Then, since we are unable to register with a guild, they won't buy the dropped material from the defeated demon. Sirius. Huh? Well, I don't mind. If it's not suitable and if I don't need it, worst case scenario, you can sell it to the guild through me. Grant. Thank you very much. Well then, speaking of which, the material will be brought by Destruction Annihilation Indestructible Blacksmith, Sirius. Idiot. It's Destruction Obliteration Indestructible Blacksmith, Grant. It was one letter difference between MESSATSU and MASSATSU, but he emphasizes it intensely. That bastard Lior is the same too, my product, that Sword of Extreme Crimson Ruler, he called it Crimson since it's troublesome to say. Grant. I would have given Lior a vote too. Amelia might also had the same opinion, because when she had to make a forced smile her face twitched. I think, Sword of Extreme Crimson Ruler, is a good name. Royce. Don't you understand, Royce Brat? Grant. Royce, you too? It's good to learn from a predecessor, Lior's transformation and Grant's naming sense, some good feelings are being absorbed by those strange things. Although, I think I have said this many times, but I'm really worried about this child's future. Serious Sama, let's teach this kid properly. Amelia. That's right, let's work hard with these two. Serious. While watching the two laughing at each other, we pledge strongly that we won't let Royce off the beaten path.